उनके जो आत्मा जो है फिर भगवान की चरण कमल में नखचंद्र में जाकर के विलीन हुई। इसको देख करके युधिष्ठिर महाराज ये प्रश्न पूछ रहे हैं।
So, Gurudev is asking, what question Yuddhistra Maharaj asked that started all this katha from this about Hiranyakasipu, everything. So he asked about in the context of Sisuphala. Sisuphala, he criticized so much Krishna. But when he was killed in the rajasuya yagna of Yuddhistra Maharaj, his soul entered in the body of Krishna and everybody saw. So then he started explaining that how Sisuphala was absorbed. Because he was absorbed, he was able to attain to Lord, even though he was criticizing to Lord. So 6 ways of attaining to Lord. 6 ways. With your kama means your like the transcendental lust of the gopis. The gopis, they always do everything for the happiness of Krishna. This is kama. This is not material. Not material. Actually, this is the transcendental through their transcendental bhava. They want to give happiness to the senses of Krishna, to his senses.
Exclusively for Krishna's sense gratification.
So this is called Krishna Indriya Toshan. Toshan means to give happiness to. This is called kam. It's like lust of the gopis. Desh, who was against Krishna, like envious of Krishna, was Sisuphala. So these 6 ways of attaining to Lord. Then Bhayat, who was always afraid of being killed by Lord. Kamsa. He was always absorbed with fear of Lord. Sneha, the Pandavas, they are always also absorbed with their affection towards Lord. So because of their sneha, they were affection, they are always absorbed in Krishna. The Pandavas, whatever problem that happens, they always remember to Govinda. They have ekantika nishtha, one-pointed loyalty and faith in Krishna. The Pandavas, they have so much nishtha to Krishna, to no one else, only to Krishna they have. We see also this. Sambandha, like the Jadavas, the Yadus who live in Mathura. So they think Krishna was born in our Jadavamsha, in our dynasty of the Yadus. So they're always feeling like this and having this mood that Krishna is our family member, like he's a Jadavamsha, he's in our dynasty. So they have this relationship, Sambandha. They attain it to Krishna because of their Sambandha. So there's 6 ways of attaining to Lord. And also Bhakti. Like suppose Kunti, she also obtained Lord with Sneha, this affection. So Narada Rishi told, how did we attain to God? By Bhakti. So Sisuphala, and when he died, his soul entered in the feet of God. This is like mukti. So seeing to this, Parikshit Maharaj, Yuddhisthira Maharaj became amazed. How is this possible? Because Sisuphala was completely envious of Lord. How he attained this liberation? So Narada Rishi explained to Yuddhisthira
दो कथा उन्होंने समाया देखो
So, two stories,
शिशुपाल की मां
two
ने
things.
मारा क्यों
One is
शिशुपाल जब जन्म लिया था
why
उनके
Sisuphala
4 हाथ
was killed, sorry. So when Sisuphala was born, he had 4 arms and 3 eyes, Sisuphala, you know.
ये 2 आंख ऊपर में ये आंख था उसको विकट रूप देख करके सब भयभीत हो गया
Then when they saw this, everybody was afraid of him. Then there was an area voice saying,
कि ये 4 हाथ में 2 हाथ चला जाएगा अंतर्ध्यान हो जाएगा एक आंख अंतर्ध्यान हो जाएगा
who that person who will see to Shishupal, and when he sees this person, 2 of his arms will disappear and 1 of the eyes of the middle disappear. Actually, this person will be the murderer. Like in the future, this person will kill him. So there was an area of voice. Did you understand? There was an area of voice when he was small, like a baby boy. He had how many hands? 4 hands, 4 arms, and 1/3 eye in the middle of his eyebrows. You know.
दिखाई पड़ता है
And
ऐसे देख करके सब भयभीत हो गई है क्या चीज
and everybody was like so
आकाशवाणी हुई
afraid,
लगे देखो
and then there was an area voice saying, oh, if he sees one person and when he sees this person,
इनके 2 हाथ
2 arms will disappear and his 3rd eye in the middle also will disappear when he sees a specific person. This means that this person that he saw will be the cause of his death in the future. It will kill him. This person will kill him in the future.
के मां
So the mother of Shishupal,
कौन मार सकता
she was thinking, oh, who will kill my son?
तब उन्होंने किया कि सभी को बुलाया निमंत्रण किया
So they called everyone
गोद में लेकर के बैठाया शिशुपाल
and they put Shishupal sitting in everyone's laps when he was baby boy. But when they put him in the lap of Krishna, immediately his 2 arms disappears and his 3rd eye also.
तो यही तो कृष्ण उनके मारेगी शिशुपाल के मां
So she understood Krishna would kill him.
इसको तुम मत मारो
So she said, please don't kill my son. He's my son.
और देववाणी जी
Krishna told, well, he was born, this is the area of voice. Who can stop this? Who can stop this? Who can stop this?
के विधान तो कहीं
This is the, vidike vidhan means the
राम रचा
destiny, Whatever God predestines, like whatever God wrote to happen, this will happen. It's like whatever the destiny it is, nobody can change it. Who can change it? Who can stop it?
भी कहने लगे
But still,
ये नहीं बेटा तो इसके मत
she told to Krishna, oh, don't kill my son.
मारो
Don't kill my son.
तब इस कृष्ण ने कहा
Then Krishna told,
ये देखो
look,
कि मैं उसके तभी मारूंगा जब ये मुझे 100 गाली देगा
okay, when he will insult me 100 times
100 निंदा कर
in a row, okay, continuously.
और 100 निंदा तो मैं सहन कर लूंगा
100
और 101
insults I'll tolerate, but 101
एक नहीं आज
I will kill him. But it's not like today he insulted me and tomorrow again. No, it has to be 100 in a row, incessantly, like to call me names continuously 100 times at once.
बोलते रहो एक साथ में कोई 100 गाली दे सकते हैं
Can anyone call someone names 100 times in a row? Maybe you can glorify a person continuously, but blaspheme someone in a row, 100 different words of blasphemy.
मैंने क्या बोले बैड लैंग्वेज
How many
लैंग्वेज आपके पास स्टॉक है
how many
जब से 15-20 होगा
blasphemy words do you know? Maybe 15 or 20, like these swearing words, taboo words, or you know maximum 20, not 100 different in a row. So
उस सभा में युधिष्ठिर महाराज की सभा में जब जग में प्रथम जो है
so when they started the rajasuya jagya of Yuddhistra Maharaj, before they do some guru puja, some puja to the most senior person. So some people said, okay, let's first worship Bhishma Pitamaha because he's the highest, most senior. Another person told, oh, can worship, maybe Dronacharya.
अपने अपने सब
So each person spoke their own opinion about who should be worshipped in the first place. And then Sahadev,
करके
he rose from his seat and he told,
कृष्ण के होना चाहिए
we should worship to Krishna first.
उस समय सभी
Then everyone agreed with him. Everyone agreed.
वंदे जगत गुरु।
Because Krishna is the Guru of the universe.
कृष्ण के जो है पहले पूजा होनी चाहिए,
The first puja should be to Krishna.
पैर धोना,
Like, washing the feet, do archan. It should be to Krishna.
है श्रेष्ठ पद उसके दिया गया।
So they gave the highest place to sit for him. And then exactly at this moment, Sisuphala came.
और शिशुपाल जब आ गए,
And when Sisuphala came,
और शिशुपाल आकर के गाली देना शुरू कर दिया,
he started blaspheming. Oh, but he's a thief. He's such a, he's so evil. He's doing bad things with the gopis, and
कुल से भी नीच है,
he's so low. So Shupala started swearing Krishna, means calling him names. And he blasphemed him so much. Everybody was so angry to Shupala, they wanted to attack him. Bhima was with his gada, his mace, about to also attack Shishupal. Arjuna was also standing, about to attack him. He had already spoken 98 different blasphemy words. Everybody was so like
हमारा क्या है,
anxious because of this. Like they were all like angry with him.
हमारे मेहमान है, मेहमान बोलते हैं ना, क्या बोलते हैं, गेस्ट है,
But Yuddhistra Maharaj was saying, oh,
इसलिए उनको
sorry, Krishna was saying he's our guest, so we should not dishonor him. Let him speak. Even Baladev Prabhu, he was also prepared to attack him with his plow in his hands. But Krishna told, oh, brother Balaram,
आपको याद है,
do you remember what I promised to his mother? Okay.
तो कृष्ण कहने लगा,
So Krishna told,
दो रह गया,
okay,
बोले अरे तो क्या करोगे, तू क्या कर लोगे,
you still have 2 more to go, your blaspheming words.
99
So he was 99, and Krishna warned him, you have only 1 more chance. Then he was also
100 जब पूरा हो गया,
quarreling Shishupal, and he spoke 1 more blaspheming words. Then Krishna just
गला काट,
rose his hand, and then Sudarshan Chakra came and cut off his head off.
पहले देखा तो सुबह
You saw in the TV. First time Sudarshan Chakra came, everybody was afraid. Bhishma Pitamaha, he did pranam to Sudarshan Chakra when it arrived.
दुशासन सुख
Duryodhana, Dushasana, Shakuni, they were afraid that Sudarshan Chakra might cut their head off.
है,
Did you see? It's very interesting, this scene in the TV. I mean, can see the
आंखों की पलक पड़ने की पहले
film.
वो संचक्र किया कि
So in a blink of an eye, Sudarshan Chakra came and cut the head off of Shishupal.
है, तब उस समय देख रहे शिशुपाल मारे जाने के पश्चात,
So after Shishupal was killed,
मर जाने के पश्चात उनके आत्मा सर्वत्र घूमते हुए भगवान
his atma was
में आकर के
like flying in the sky and then entered the feet of Krishna. This is called Mukti.
मुक्ति कहा गया, शास्त्र में कहा जाता है ये शत्रु हो मित्र, कोई भी शत्रु लोग जो है भगवान श्री हरि के द्वारा मार जाने के बाद है, उनको जो मुक्ति हो जाता है, हरि
Those who are killed by Lord, they get Mukti, liberation.
तक भगवान स्वयं उसकी हत्या करके भी गति प्रदान कर देते हैं, उसके देख करके ऐसे कैसे हुई
But how was this possible?
ऐसे मुक्ति कैसे, उसको नरक में जाना
How
चाहिए था।
could he get Mukti? Yuddhistra Maharaj was thinking he should have gone to the hell, Shishupal.
तब उस समय उस सभा में नारद ऋषि पहुंचे,
So Narada Rishi came,
सुनाया
and Narada Rishi told
शिशुपाल की जन्म वृत्तांत जो है,
about the story of
ये शिशुपाल
what happened when Shishupal was born. And who was Shishupal actually?
ये है जय विजय की कथा सुना रहे हैं,
Actually, he was
काल की इतिहास
Jaya Vijaya. So Narada told the story from the past about Jaya Vijaya.
है, युधिष्ठिर महाराज की
So in the context now,
कथा सुना रहे हैं।
we see how Narada Rishi is telling this katha to Yuddhisthira Maharaj.
ये चतुर्सन के द्वारा अभिशप्त होकर के जय
So Jaya Vijaya were cursed by
पाल जय विजय
the 4 Kumaras, and
इस भूतल में आए,
in this way they came
कथा हम
to this earth for 3 births.
हिरण्याक्ष हिरण्यकशिपु, फिर रावण कुंभकर्ण,
So first they were Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakasipu, then Ravana and Kumbhakarna,
एक कथा सुना,
and then Shishupal Dantavakra.
इसलिए कर रहे हैं जो अभी जो हिरण्याक्ष हिरण्यकशिपु की कथा हम
So this katha that we've been listening about Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakasipu, about Prahlada Maharaj, this katha, Narada Rishi, he spoke this to, told to Yuddhistra Maharaj. Because when Yuddhistra Maharaj saw Sisuphala entering the feet of Krishna, Yuddhistra Maharaj asked these things.
हिरण्याक्ष और हिरण्यकशिपु
So, in Satyayuga, these same Sisuphala, they were Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakasipu, Sisuphala and Dantavakra.
कथा प्रसंग हम लोग कर रहे हैं
So we were listening in this context
प्रहलाद महाराज
how Prahlada Maharaj,
कि क्या बोले हिरण्यकशिपु ने पूछा
Hiranyakashipu asked him, "Oh, you've been in the Guru Griha, in the house of Guru.
कौन शिक्षा तुम ग्रहण किया
Which kind of teachings did you like to? I mean, did you most like to learn? What is the best thing you learned?" So he told, "Oh, my father, this material world is like a dark well. We should give it up,
एकमात्र
and we should only
साधु संग में रह करके
stay in sadhu sangha, in this association of sadhu, and we should worship Bhagavan Sri Hari. This is the highest. I think this is the best thing we can do."
सदा समुद्भग्न
Tat sadhu mane sura varja dehinam.
हित्वात्मपातम गृहांध कूपम वनम गतो जप हरिमात्र हरि नाम जब आ गया
So he spoke the name of Hari, right?
बहुत
And then Hiranyakashipu, he was very angry.
प्रहलाद महाराज को अपने गोद से लेकर के
And he took out Prahlada Maharaj from his lap and told, "You're telling the name of my enemy."
तो उस समय उनके परिवारजन जो है हिरण्यकशिपु के समझाए बालक की कोई ज्ञान नहीं है बालक की क्या ज्ञान है कौन शत्रु है मित्र है वो थोड़ी जानते हैं
So a boy doesn't know who is his friend or who is his enemy. So the relatives of Hiranyakashipu were trying to make him understand. Oh, he's a boy. He's so naive. He doesn't know what he's speaking. Put him again in the school, and he'll learn again some Dandabhed, all these four politics,
अच्छी तरफ से
manners, and he'll be able to study more. Put him again in the school.
पुनः वो स्कूल में
So this Hiranyakashipu didn't change his school. He just put him back in the same school. Which school?
शुक्राचार्य के
The school of Shukracharya.
दो शिक्षक
And the two teachers who were there,
और अमर
Shanda and Amarka. Sandamarka.
तो उस स्कूल में
So in the school, staying in the school,
रहने लगे विद्या आदि अभ्यास आदि करने लगे
so he was studying.
दिनों के बाद
After some days, Hiranyakashipu
को बुलाया
again called to Prahlad.
और बुला करके अपने गोद में बैठाया
Put him again sitting on his lap, and with Vatsalya Bhava, parental mood,
मस्तक आदि
he started like smelling, like sniffing the head of Prahlada. This is a symptom of Vatsalya Bhava. All the mothers, fathers, they do this. They like sniff, like they smell the head of their kids. Animals also do that. It's a symbol of Vatsalya Bhava.
इसके पश्चात दैत्यपति हिरण्यकशिपु ने प्रहलाद को अपनी गोद में बिठाया उसका सिर
So Hiranyakashipu put Prahlada Maharaj sitting on his lap,
उसुरबारी गिरकर प्रहलाद को अभिषेक करने लगा
and he started bathing Prahlada with his tears.
उसने प्रहलाद से पूछा
He was so happy, and then he asked to Prahlada. Who asked?
हिरण्यकशिपु क्या
Hiranyakashipu. What did he ask?
प्रहलाद श्लोक नंबर
So
22
verse 22,
सप्तम स्कंध
7th canto,
5
chapter 5, sloka 22, 22nd, okay?
श्लोक नंबर
You can also follow that in the Bhagavatam, please. It's good. I mean, Guru doesn't say to follow. I'm translator. I'm saying it's good to follow, then you can see.
किंचिदुपदत्तममं कालेन इतानमत् कालेन कालेनम ऐतानवत् दुष्मन् यदि शिक्षं गुरुर्भगवान् हिरण्यकशिपु ने कहा
Hiranyakashipu told, "Hey, Prahlad,
प्रियता तो
my dear Prahlad,
बेटा
oh, my dear son,
तुम आयुष्मान
oh, long-lived one, means may you live long, my son. Ayushman.
आयुष्मान किसको कहा
What is Ayushman?
आयुष्मान भव
Ayushman Bhavo. May you live long.
तुम्हारे
May you live long.
आयु बड़े चिरंजीवी हो आयु बढ़े
Also, it's like Chiranjeevi Bhavo. It's like live a long life. I hope you live a long life. Oh, my son.
कालेन इव तत् बता आयुष्मान आयुष्मान हो
May you live long, my son.
बढ़ते रहे
May you live a long life.
बचे रहो इतने दिनों में अपने गुरुओं
For
से
so much time you have heard many things from your teachers.
उसमें से कोई
Now
ऐसी
please
बात
repeat to me whatever you think is the best of that knowledge.
अध्ययन किया पढ़ा
So you were studying in the school of your guru. So
सुनाओ
tell me something which you've learned. So Prahlada Maharaj, he started saying what?
कीर्तनं विष्णु स्मरणं पादसेवनम् अर्चनं वन्दनं दास्यं शक्तात्मनिवेदनम् एते पुंसार्पिता विष्णु भक्तिश्चेदनवलक्षणं क्रियते भगवते यद्धा तन्मन्ये अधीतम् उत्तमम् लोग याद है
Do you know this shloka? Okay, so repeat.
कीर्तनं विष्णु स्मरणं पादसेवनम् अर्चनं वन्दनं दास्यं सख्य आत्मनिवेदनम् एते पुंसार्पिता विष्णु भक्तिश्चेदनवलक्षणम् क्रियते भगवती अद्धा तन्मन्ये अधीत उत्तमम्
This verse from Bhagavad is so beautiful.
शब्द से इसको
You can read it with different rhythms.
साधारण रूप में हम क्या करते हैं
Generally, we speak like this. Shravana Kirtana Vishnu Smaranam.
अर्चन मंदनम दस सखात्मनिवेदनम इति पुंसार्पिता विष्णु भक्तिश्चेदनवलक्षणं क्रियते भगवती अद्धा तन्मन्ये अधीत उत्तमम् श्लोक याद है
Do you know the shloka by heart? Do you know the shloka by heart?
श्लोक याद करना चाहिए
You should know this shloka, you should know. Like memorize it.
नहीं तो मरवास नहीं भजन नहीं होता
Otherwise, cannot do bhajan.
चिंता किस लिए हो जाता है
Why do you think about material things?
क्योंकि श्लोक याद करना
Because you have to learn shlokas.
इसीलिए कहते हैं स्मरण पद्धति
This is Smarana Padati, how to remember.
स्मरण
Because like to remember the shlokas to memorize the shlokas is a part of Smarana. And if you don't remember the shlokas, like if you don't memorize them, then that's why you're thinking so much about material things.
उसके स्मरण करना पड़ता
So you should memorize the verse.
है स्मरण अच्छा प्रहलाद जी ने कहा
So Prahlada told.
भगवान के नाम रूप गुण और परिकरों के लीलादि श्रवण उनका कीर्तन उनका स्मरण करना
So to
उनके ही चरण कमल
Prahlada Maharaj said, hearing and chanting about the transcendental holy name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the Lord respectful worship with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering praise to the Lord. So we can offer paraphernalia, 10 kinds of paraphernalia, 12, 16, 16 kinds of paraphernalia of worship. Offering the Lord respectful worship with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering praise to the Lord, becoming his servant, considering the Lord one's best friend, surrender everything unto him. In other words, serving him with the body, mind, and words. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through these 9 methods should be understood to be the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge.
मेरे विचार से उनसे ही उत्तम शिक्षा प्राप्ति की है यहाँ पर एक विचार है विषय सुना यहाँ पर क्या करें ये 9 प्रकार की भक्ति को बताया
this is telling the 9 limbs of bhakti.
स्मरण पादसेवन अर्चन बंधन दास सबका आत्मनिवेदन ये है नवविधा भक्ति
9 limbs of bhakti, Shravana Kirtana. So suppose somebody is listening Harikatha. This is counted among inside bhakti. If somebody is doing kirtan,
ये क्या हो गया?
So what is this?
कीर्तन हो गया।
This is kirtan.
राधे जय जय माधव जय ते, कीर्तन हो गया।
So this is kirtan.
सुन रहे हैं कथा। कीर्तन जो है ओष्ठ स्पंदनम मात्रम इति कीर्तन है। होठों की होठ जो स्तंभित माने क्या बोले?
So to move your lips,
जस्ट फ्लैपिंग,
if your lips are flapping, like moving, this is kirtan.
कीर्तन कहते हैं ओष्ठ स्पंदनम मात्रम कीर्तनम। यदि ओष्ठ,
If your lips
होठ यदि स्पंदन नहीं हो,
are not moving
अप डाउन नहीं हो,
up and down,
उस कीर्तन नहीं हो।
this is not a kirtan.
अनेक प्रकार के कीर्तन की
Many kinds of kirtans.
इसलिए कहता है ओष्ठ स्पंदन होनी चाहिए।
So your lips should move.
कीर्तन करते हैं
Like when you sing, your lips are moving, right?
हमारे होठ क्या होता है?
Our lips are going up and down, because you're chanting, singing. Your lips are flipping. This is kirtan.
कानों के द्वारा श्रवण हो रहा है,
So listening by your ears,
मुखों के द्वारा ओष्ठ स्पंदन हो रहा है,
and your lips are moving. This is kirtan. Smarana, thinking with your mind.
स्मरण हो रहा है। और
And
श्रवण कीर्तन स्मरण पाद सेवनम,
pada sevanam,
उनकी चरण कमल की सेवा परिचर्या आदि
to serve his lotus feet.
अर्चन, ठाकुर जी के चरण में अर्चन करना,
Archana, to worship the deity.
आसन पाद अर्घ आचमन,
Like offering the deity a place to sit, asana first,
स्वागत किया जाता है।
like welcoming the deity.
फिर उनकी चरण में
Then
पुष्प आदि,
offering flowers to his lotus feet.
उसके अर्चन कहा जाता
This
है।
is archan.
उनके मैं दास हूँ,
Then you think, I am his servant. You have this mood. This is like dasa bhav.
उनके साथ सख्य भाव,
And also to develop sakhya bhava and intimate service to him.
भाव के द्वारा जो सख्य भाव होता है, संकोच रहित, संकोच माने
Sankoch Rahit means you're not feeling afraid.
निडर होकर के,
Without any fear, you are
रहित होकर के सेवा
serving the deity, Lord, without fear.
अपने हृदय की बात,
Like you open your heart to him.
ये मेरा क्या हुआ,
What happened to me? Like this.
हृदय की बात छुपाना नहीं चाहिए। जैसे
Should not hide.
नहीं छुपाया,
Like Arjun didn't hide.
उपस्थित होकर के कहना, हे केशव, मेरा हाथ और पैर जो है,
Hey Keshav, he told in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, hey Keshav, my feet, my legs, they are trembling, my arms are trembling, I cannot fight, I can't fight. I can't fight. Why? Then he spoke everything.
ये देख करके मेरा ये हो रहा है,
Because I see them and I feel this, that.
आदि सब
I feel that my friends, they'll die in this war. So
भय,
I'm afraid, I'm doubtful, my body is trembling. Then Bhagavan Krishna told him all the tattva, Gita Upadesh, the instructions of Bhagavad Gita.
के उपदेश से ही सिखा।
The instruction of Bhagavad Gita start from there.
भाव के द्वारा क्या होता है?
So by Sakhya Bhava, what happens?
हृदय की कथा को जो है उघाड़ देना समझते हो?
You open your heart completely.
You have to express,
You have to express your heart.
हृदय की जो है
Open your heart.
छुपाना नहीं चाहिए।
Should not hide anything in your heart.
हाँ सुनो, गुरुदेव कहते थे,
Gurudeva used to say,
कोई प्राइवेट पोर्शन में कुछ
suppose
थोड़ा पुण्य
you're having some problem in your private portions.
पड़ेगा कि नहीं है?
You have to go to the doctor or not?
प्राइवेट पोर्शन है, I don't want to show
Oh, doctor, no, this is my private portion. I don't want to show to you.
treatment
How doctor will treat you?
है, इसलिए डॉक्टर के पास जाकर के उसको भी
So you have to tell the doctor what you have in your private portions. Then you have to treat it and take medicine.
ठीक उसी प्रकार
So in the same way,
सख्य भाव के द्वारा
through Sakhya Bhava,
सारे हृदय को जो है खोल करके बोलना है।
you have to open your heart and tell everything.
हाँ सुनो, सख्य भाव में कोई गोपन नहीं रखता,
Should-
इसलिए और
In Sakhya Bhava, in the friendship, you don't hide anything from your friend.
मन
So
दुखित हो रहा है,
Arjuna told to Krishna, I'm upset. Why? Then he explained. And then Krishna explained, exactly the Gita Katha to Arjuna. What is the soul? What is the body? Who will die? Who doesn't die?
नहीं मरता है।
Who dies? Who does not die?
तुम इसको कह रहे हैं मैं इसको मार डालूंगा,
Like you say that you think you'll kill someone,
मारोगे इसको,
but how can you kill the person? The person is already dead.
वो में केवल औपचारिक मात्र है,
Whatever you're doing is just a formality, like to kill, in fact, because
शरीर मरता है,
actually the body is dead already,
नहीं मरते, न जाते,
and the soul can never die.
शरीर जन्म लेता है,
The soul, the body takes birth and also dies. That person, like that thing which takes birth, dies. The soul does not take birth, also does not die.
गीता में तो यही तो बता रहे हैं,
This is what Gita is saying.
नित्य वस्तु कर्ण है आत्मा,
What is eternal is the soul. Soul
शरीर छोड़ करके दूसरे शरीर हम चले
is eternal. We are just going from one body to another body. Just like
तीर्थ यात्री है, pilgrimage,
a tirtha jatri, somebody who's going for pilgrimage. He's going from one place to another one. He goes for darshan, then he stays 2-4 days in one place, has the darshan there, and then he leaves that place and he goes to another place.
क्या डालते हैं,
And he
पराब डालते, पराब बोलते हैं ना,
stops in the parag,
हैं?
means like a resting place. How do you call it? Parag.
इसलिए गोवर्धन परिक्रमा करते हैं, देखा ना,
You see, in Govardhan Parikrama, there's also these signs explaining, oh, this is the Antim Parag. Near Radhakund, it's like less place for stopping and resting, like this.
यहाँ पर इसके बाद तुम्हारी समाप्त परिक्रमा,
Like after this stop, then your Parikrama will be over. It's finished. So when you go to
2 दिन 3 दिन
Nandagaon
गोवर्धन जाते हैं,
or Govardhan, we stay.
जाते हैं, रुकते हैं,
Kamyavan, we used to, we can also stay in these places, you know, when you do Parikrama, you can also stop in these places. So in the same way, the soul is going from one body to another body, and they stay for the soul stays some time in each body. Actually, it's predestined. How much time will you stay in this specific body? The time is already predestined, like it's fixed. 5 years, 10 years, 100 years. It's a fixed, predestined, how much time you stay in this body, in your body.
शरीर को छोड़ करके दूसरे शरीर में चले जाते
Then you give up this body and go to another body.
हैं।
Understand?
शरीर की जन्म है,
So the body takes birth, the soul not. Soul is only going from one place to another place.
देहात्माभिमान होने के नाते
Because we have the Atma Abhimaan,
मैं हूँ मेरा,
bodily conception, we think about I and mine. Gita explains.
है? तो इसलिए मेरे कहने की बात सख्य भाव,
So what I want to say is that we have to have the sakhya bhava, friendship mood. What is this? Intimacy.
समस्त प्रकार के लाज लज्जा आदि छोड़ करके
Give up all the shyness and you should open your heart, openly tell what is in your heart. This is sakhya bhava.
विश्रम्भेन गुरु से। और इसके बाद आगे बस सख्य,
So like Arjuna with Krishna. Then
ये पाद सेवनम रह गया। षोडशोपचारे भगवान की अर्चन,
so worship Lord with 16 articles.
स्तुति आदि करना,
Bandhana
कहा जाता है।
means to pray,
आदि के द्वारा उनकी सेवा,
serve him
मैं सेवा को
with like the servant mood.
मैं उनकी क्या है,
You think I am his
सेवक,
sevak.
सेवा अभिमान, ये सेवक अभिमान है। सख्य अभिमान मैंने कहा दिया। और इसके बाद कहा क्या करें,
So I told about the sakhya abhiman, feeling you are a friend of Lord.
समर्पण कर देते
Then you offer everything.
सब कुछ, आत्मनिवेदन तुआ पदे करी खैनु परम सुखी दुख दूरे गेलो चिंता ना रोइलो चोरी के आनंद देखी, चोरी के आनंद देखी, चोरी के आनंद देखी है? तो उसी प्रकार कहते हैं आत्मनिवेदन, ये नौविधा भक्ति कार्य है। किंतु यहाँ पर एक
So Atmanivedana is one of the
ये नौ
limbs of bhakti, 9 types of bhakti. So you have to think about something. The Bhagavad explains about 9 types of bhakti.
करना आचरण
How should we follow these limbs of bhakti? How?
भगवती
So the verse explains.
मन्ने अधितम उत्तमम,
Kriyata Bhagavate Adam Tamaneditam
ये
Uttamam.
जो अनुष्ठान,
So these practices of bhakti,
ये अनुष्ठान कैसे करना
how to do it?
ना,
You have to
पहले अपने को जो है
first you must
हिंसा
Punsarpita, sorry. Punsarpita.
अपने को क्या करो,
You have to,
अर्पण करो।
first you should offer yourself, should surrender yourself.
यदि अपने के अर्पण
If you haven't offered your own self,
और भक्ति के 9 प्रकार
and you think,
अनुष्ठान कर रहे हैं,
and you try to follow the 9 limbs of Bhakti, this is actually not Bhakti. Because first of all, what you must
स्थापित कर
offer yourself.
हैं?
Offer yourself.
समर्पित आत्मा ही एकमात्र
So only the surrendered person is actually able to
कार्य है।
qualify to perform Bhakti. Only those who are surrendered can really perform Bhakti.
जब तक आप
Because until you haven't
अर्पण नहीं करें
offered yourself,
भक्ति के अनुष्ठान
actually you cannot
यहाँ पर ये
follow Bhakti, you cannot practice Bhakti. So in the second part of the shloka explains, Inti Punsarpita,
जो मनुष्य भगवान से
that human being who
समर्पण करके इस
surrenders
भक्ति का साक्षात अनुष्ठान करते हैं,
to Vishnu, then he is able to
श्रवण कर रहे हैं,
serve to Lord. So you are listening Harikatha, Shravan, but you are not surrendered to Lord, so this is actually not proper Shravan. That Kirtan is also not Kirtan proper if you haven't surrendered yourself to Lord. But
और पिता
Punsarpita, you know, Punsa means
पुरुष स्वभाव
means the Purusha.
है। हमारे गुरु महाराज
My Guru Maharaj, our Guru Maharaj,
इस श्लोक के बता
in this verse he used to explain when we
पहले मठ में है
came to the temple in the beginning in the mart.
के पेड़ पर नीचे
So Gurudev used to sit under the jackfruit tree, and all the new brahmacharis would sit around him, surrounding him, and he used to tell these kathas. Understand?
और
And
जितने भी पुराना
all the
पीछे खड़े हो जाते हैं।
old devotees, they used to sit behind.
तो गुरुदेव कहते थे
So Gurudev used to tell,
तुम लोग गीता अध्ययन करो,
you should study Bhagavad Gita.
एक शास्त्र है,
Gita is such a book,
समझ
Shastra.
सब प्रकार के संशय डाउट
All doubts someone might have, Gita will dispel all the doubts. You'll not any doubt will not remain. Like no doubt will remain because Gita will reconcile and finish and solve our doubts. So we should read and study the Gita. He used to tell us. And in the Gita,
विचार
all the Tata Vicharas are there. All the conceptions of the scriptures are established in the Bhagavad Gita. All the 6 kinds of philosophies called Saradarshan of the Vedas, they're also present in the Bhagavad Gita. Like Naya Darshan, Patanjali, all these philosophies.
विचारों को क्या करते हैं, नास्तिक विचार को
Actually, sorry, I told the Gita. Sorry, I spoke. Delete that. I made a mistake. Gita defeats all these Saradarshan, these 6 philosophies. Okay, like the Patanjali, all this. Gita defeats these 6 darshan, 6 philosophies of the Vedas. That people create these philosophies. Gita destroys these 6 philosophies. Not that Gita has this philosophy. No, Gita destroys these 6 philosophies. So,
हमारे गुरुदेव ऐसे ही कहते थे
my Gurudev used to say,
हैं? हाँ सर। इसलिए मैं कहता हूँ ना, गीता में तो अनेक 700
so
करीब 700 से ऊपर है, 745 श्लोक है,
there are,
किंतु अधिक श्लोक आपको याद करने, सब श्लोक तो पढ़ो
you read all the shlokas in the Gita, like there are more than 700 shlokas.
है, और सारी ये जो है सरदर्शन जो है उसके आप खंडन कर सकते हो।
So with just a few shlokas, you can also destroy all these Saradarshan, these 6 philosophies. Like you can destroy the materialism, Prakritivad, Mayavad philosophy also can be cut and conquered by some shlokas. Not all, you don't need all shlokas to conquer these bad philosophies, these wrong philosophies. Just some shloka, a few shlokas are already enough. To,
दर्शन के द्वारा
like for the Kapila Sanka Darshan, with which shloka you can defeat the Shanka Darshan, the philosophy of
शंकरवाद के कौन से श्लोक
and another, which shloka can you defeat the Shankaravad, like Mayavad? All this in the Gita, some special shlokas that will defeat.
कहते हैं, आप कौन सा है?
So devotees always ask, what are the 25 shlokas, 25 to 30 shlokas of the Gita that you should really know, like in the tip of your tongue. 25 to 30 shlokas, and in this way you can defeat and conquer this Sharadarshan, these 6 wrong philosophies, and you can establish Shuddha Bhakti.
सब श्लोक आप तो श्रुतिधर नहीं
You are not Shrutidhar, you'll not remember all the shlokas. Those who are really, very, very intelligent, then they can learn all the verses. But those who are not like this, they can read or like study 25 to 30 shlokas. And wherever you go, any assembly or anything, with these 25, 30 shlokas, you can win any like a debate.
चलो यहाँ पर जो
Okay, continuing here, it's saying,
पुंसा
Sorry, iti punsarpita.
शब्द का मतलब पुरुष सकल
Punsa means purusha, like enjoyer,
मनुष्य
like a human being.
जो मनुष्य भगवान विष्णु के समर्पण करके नवदा भक्ति का अनुष्ठान करता है मेरे विचार से उसे उत्तम
So that human being who follows this, he has attained the highest knowledge.
अनुष्ठान शब्द करता है
But pumsa means purusha.
यहाँ पुरुष कहने से
What-
स्त्री लोग भक्ति नहीं करेगी क्या
So when you say purusha means also man. Purusha also means also man. So it means that the women will not perform bhakti.
भागवत में लिखा है इति
Gurudev used to ask. Because here's iti punsa pito. Punsa means like
विष्णु में
generally translate like mankind, like but also can mean only like man, one person, male. So the females cannot do.
क्यों कहा गया
Why only the men? Why only men?
करेगी
Ladies will not perform bhakti. Only men.
भक्ति करेंगे
Only men will be able to perform bhakti.
प्रश्न उठता है कि नहीं
So this question arises or not?
इति
Because in the Bhagavatam explains, iti pumsar pita Vishnu.
भक्ति चेत नवलक्षणा इति चेत यह भक्ति के जो है नवलक्षण जो भक्ति के
So these 9 limbs of bhakti, men will be able to do.
भगवती अद्धा
But, you know, this pumsa, purusha, also you can translate like human being, like generally translate like that. But the purusha,
बद्ध जी
some people think that purusha means only men also, male. But actually purusha means actually the baddha jiva, conditioned soul, because the conditioned souls, they have purush bhav, like they think they're the enjoyers, you know, that's why.
करने वाला वो स्त्री और पुरुष
Whether you're a male or female, doesn't depend on gender, you know, because all the conditioned souls, they think they're the enjoyers.
भक्त अभिमान
They have the bhokta abhimaan, the ego of being enjoyer.
अभिमान रहता
Until you have the bhoga abhiman, bhokta abhiman in your heart, you're like purush, you're like enjoyer. Even though you're in a female form,
है जब भक्ता अभिमान भक्ता
if you have this bhokta abhiman, this sense of I am the enjoyer,
आई एम एंजॉय
I am the enjoyer.
पर उसे
So if you have this abhiman,
अभिमान कहा
this is like purusha abhiman, is the ego of being the enjoyer. Understand?
बुद्ध इसको बहुत सुंदर में
Gurudeva used to describe it very nicely.
पुंसान शब्द करते पुरुष सकल
Commentary also explains.
पुरुष सकल जानी देह
So purush
आत्माभिमान
means actually all the baddha jivas, conditioned souls who have the bodily conception. They think the body is the soul.
वो स्त्री को
Whether they are female or male, this doesn't matter. They have bhakta abhiman, they have the ego of being the enjoyer.
कहा जाता है पुरुष कौन है तब
So who is the purush?
वास्तव पुरुष कौन है
Who is the actual purush? Huh?
वास्तव पुरुष कृष्ण
Only actual enjoyer is Krishna. Krishna is the only purusha enjoyer. All others are his servants. And he makes everyone dance according to his wishes.
परम पुरुष कौन है
There's only one Param Purush, great supreme enjoyer. Who is he?
इसलिए अकेला
Krishna.
पुरुष शब्द का अर्थ होता है
Purush means
भोक्ता कहा जाता
bhokta, enjoyer.
है और जीव क्या है
And the jiva is bhogga.
और एंजॉयी
So there are 2 terms in English. Enjoyer is Krishna and jiva is enjoyee, enjoyed by him. Only Swayam Bhagavan, he is the supreme enjoyer.
और भगवान छोड़
And except for Krishna Bhagavan,
सभी क्या है
everyone else is enjoyee.
यहाँ तक श्रीमती राधिका क्या है
Even Srimati Radhika, what is she? You tell me.
श्रीमती राधिका से इसको
Srimati Radhika, she is called the
सुप्रीम
supreme enjoyee. She is enjoyed by Krishna. Krishna is the supreme enjoyer.
क्योंकि पुरुष अभिमान होने पर
Because even though we have the
कर्तृत्व अपने अभिमान रखते हैं मैं भोगता हूं और मैं भोगता हूं मैं उनकी सेवक हूं
so actually the soul is servant of Lord and is to be
वस्तु होने के नाते
enjoyed by him. But because we are in this gross body, generally we think that we are the enjoyers. We have the bhokta abhiman. You have the ego of being the enjoyer. But actually we are not the enjoyer. Who are we? We are the enjoyee, enjoyed by Lord. So Vishaya Tattva and Ashraya Tattva. Krishna is the only object of the love. Vishaya Vigraha, sorry.
डिवाइन लव
Object of divine love. Vishaya Vigraha Krishna.
मात्र के विषय विग्रह कृष्ण है। और कृष्ण के छोड़ करके सभी क्या है
Except for Krishna, everyone is Ashraya Vigraha. Shelter of divine love.
शेल्टर ऑफ डिवाइन लव आश्रय विग्रह, इसलिए कहता है आश्रय विग्रह के अनुगत्य में
So under the guidance of Ashraya Vigraha,
सेवा ही
Chatur of divine love, to serve Vishaya Vigraha is our topmost dharma, topmost duty.
श्रीमती राधिका
And so who is the Ashraya Vigraha? Srimati Radhika.
स्वरूप गोविंद की
Under the guidance of Srimati Radhika, to serve Krishna under her guidance is our topmost duty, dharma.
राधा जी के अनुगत्य बिना कृष्ण सेवा नहीं होता,
Topmost dharma. You cannot serve to Krishna without being under the guidance of Srimati Radhika.
शीघ्र मिले तबे गोकुल काम, राधा जी की मैं दासी हूँ,
So to think, I am the servant of Srimati Radhika.
हम गोविंद की जब सेवा करने
So how can we serve to Krishna under her guidance? If you have this
कर लेते हैं विषय विग्रह कृष्ण, इसलिए कहते हैं राधिकार दासी यदि है अभिमान
ego of being the servant of Srimati Radhika, very quickly you can
काम
attain to Krishna.
है, ये विचार दे रहे हैं।
This is the conception given.
इसलिए यहाँ पर याद रखना,
So remember,
गीता कहने से
Pum Sarpita means, what did I say?
क्या बताया,
What did I say?
भोक्ता अभिमान देहात्म
The Hatma Abhimaan jivas means the conditioned soul who has the bodily conception of being the enjoyer also. Whether they are male or female, this doesn't matter.
वो स्त्री हो अथवा पुरुष
So in the material body, they can be male or female, but if we have
देहात्म अभिमान
the Hatma Abhimaan, the bodily conception, the conception of being the enjoyer, so then we become like Purush, like enjoyer, or this Purusha word also sometimes means male, or but actually means the conditioned soul who wants to enjoy.
क्या करना है,
So the conditioned soul should
चरण में अपने को
first surrender herself, like the soul must surrender himself to the feet of Lord.
प्रकार नवविधा भक्ति के आप मनुष्य
In this way, you can practice Nava Vidha Bhakti, 9 limbs of Bhakti.
तमाम आसन हैं, इसलिए अपने को अर्पित करो,
You must offer yourself.
भगवान की अर्पित करके
After offering yourself to Lord,
कथा श्रवण भक्ति
then you can follow, listen Harikatha and follow the practices of Bhakti. You must listen to Harikatha. You must worship the deity.
अर्चन करने के समय भूत शुद्धि आदि का क्या,
When you do Archana, also you have to tell the
मंत्र के द्वारा
Bhuta Shuddhi,
भूत शुद्धि हो रहा है,
purification of your own identity. And you can do this with the mantra Aham Brahmasmi in Vedanta Sutra explains. When you speak Aham Brahmasmi, actually you are talking about the third shloka of Shikshastaka of Mahaprabhu.
त्रिनादपि
Aham Brahmasmi relates to Trinadapi Sunicena. Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahma. Actually,
कोई शंकराचार्य के द्वारा जो प्रतिष्ठित
this Mahavakya which was highlighted by Shankaracharya,
अहम ब्रह्म मैं ब्रह्म हूँ,
I am Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi.
और इसके द्वारा महाप्रभु के जो
Actually, Mahaprabhu, he told the Trinadapi Sunicena, this verse being more humble than a blade of grass. But this relates also to Aham Brahmasmi and it's reconciled. Because actually, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahma, does not mean I am Brahma. This is not proper translation. Proper meaning is, I belong to Brahma. I belong to him, to God. Understand?
क्योंकि देव भाव नहीं आने पर
Because if you don't have the mood of being like God, not, I mean, if you are not, sorry, delete. If you don't have qualities like God, you cannot worship to God.
ठीक उसी प्रकार अहम ब्रह्मास्मि तात्पर्य क्या है,
So in the same way, Aham Brahmasmi means,
ब्रह्म ब्रह्म जाति हूँ,
I belong to Brahman.
है? एक बृहद ब्रह्म और एक क्षुद्र ब्रह्म,
Brihad Brahman,
चैतन्य बृहद चैतन्य
Brihad Chaitanya, great conscious being, and Anu Chaitanya,
है, अग्नि और
small conscious being, or
चिंगारी,
minute conscious being. The fire and the spark of the fire is no different from the fire.
कि सूर्य के किरण
So the sun and its rays.
है, rays of the sun और sun, सूर्य के किरण कहाँ से निकले,
So the rays of the sun, they come from the sun itself.
किरण में भी ताप है,
The sun, the rays of the sun, they also have the same heat. Heat from, I mean, they have heat like the sun, but the sun is great and big, and rays of the sun small. So Brihad Chaitanya, great conscious being, is Krishna, and Anu Chaitanya, minute conscious being, are the jivas. Do you understand?
इसे दिखा रहा है, चैतन्य दृष्टि से
So this comparison between the consciousness. Lord is Satchidananda, transcendental, spiritual, and the jivas also. Lord is Brihad Chaitanya, great spiritual entity, and the jiva's minor spiritual entity. So with the word aham brahmasmi, actually you're purifying your own consciousness, Buddha Shuddhi. This opinion of Shankaracharya, actually the inner opinion of Shankaracharya, his inner mood. His own followers don't follow his inner moods and take only the secondary meanings. What is the mukhartha, the main meaning? Actually, the main meaning of word Brahma is Bhagavan. When the word Brahma is there, actually, like aham brahmasmi, Brahma means Bhagavan, like Supreme Personality of Godhead. How God is full of six opulences. God is Brihat, great. The word Brahma comes from Brihati Brihayati iti Brahma. Brahma is that who is so big, and there's no one equal to him. What speak of having someone like him? What speak of someone being higher than him? There's not even anyone like him or equal to him. Kimuta, do you know what is kimuta? It's like, if there's not anyone equal to him, what to speak of somebody being higher than him? So, if somebody can walk carrying 5 kilos, he can walk with 50 kilos? No. But if one person can walk carrying 50 kilos of weight, 5 kilos for him, it is what? So King Uta, you say like this in Sanskrit. Like, what is it? Like nothing. It's like no big deal at all. So in the same way, we belong to Brahma. We are Satchidananda, also spiritual. We are not Brahma, God. We are the potency of Lord. The jiva is a Shakti, potency of Lord. And Brahma, he is Shaktiman, the possessor of this potency. God has unlimited potencies. When can we become Trinadapi Sunich? Humbler, more humble than a blade of grass. When we surrender ourselves to Bhagavan. I'm not the body. I am the soul. I'm the servant of Bhagavan. Then you can become Trinadapi Sunichana, more humble than a blade of grass. One day I described all this. This four Mahavakyas established by Shankaracharya, the Advaitavadis, they speak. They want to establish their sampradaya with these highlights from the Vedas, these four Mahavakyas. But actually, Guru Sundar, he also described and also established the same with the Shikshastakam third verse. Giving honor to the opinion of Shankara. How actually he described Bhakti. Okay, continuing. Okay, we read the first line of this sloka about 9 limbs of Bhakti. Everybody knows. But nobody speaks the second line. What is written in the second line of this verse? Tell me. So the second rule is more important. Second instruction. Okay, we have to do Bhakti. Shravana Kirtan Vishnu Smaran. Okay, we have to listen Hari Katha to glorify Kirtan, Bhakti and everything. No, you are not doing Bhakti. Why? Are you performing Bhakti or not? So the Kanishta Dakari, just to encourage Kanishta Dakaris, we say, oh, you're doing so much Bhakti, so much. Oh, you're listening Hari Katha? What is higher than that? Because we have to encourage the Kanishta Dakaris. If you tell him that, honestly, you don't know anything, you're useless. Srimati Maharaj used to tell directly, you're not doing Bhakti, not even a bit of it. But when the Grihastas used to come to him, he used to beat them and like tell the truth. So they used to come out of his room like crying and saying they will never come back again.
डायरेक्ट,
Because he used to tell directly everything to them.
किंतु
Shri Maharaj, like the truths for the Grihastas and for the Kanishthikaris, everything.
कीर्तन कर
Oh, you're doing kirtan, so nice, but generally we encourage.
जी सुंदर है,
Oh, the deity in your house is so beautiful, you're serving the deity.
कथा श्रवण की भक्ति है,
Listening Harikatha is bhakti. But Tripkara Maharaj would say, you're not doing bhakti, nothing. You're not doing bhakti, anything, not doing.
चरण में तो भक्ति कहा दिया, नवविधा भक्ति,
Okay, because the first line of this loka says how to do bhakti, but second line is saying, and
संसार पिता,
and Paravidhi Balavan means second instruction is even more important than the first. Have you surrendered yourself before? Have you offered yourself to Bhagavan? Have you done that to be able to perform bhakti?
स्थापित नहीं,
If you haven't offered, like surrendered, you cannot do bhakti.
भक्ति भास दिखा जाता है,
Okay, maybe some bhakti abhas, like some semblance of bhakti.
आभास मात्र,
Bhakti abhas means you're just some semblance of bhakti, but it's actually not bhakti. Understand? It's not bhakti.
भक्ति के सामान्य आभास मात्र
Just some semblance of bhakti.
है, इसलिए कहता है इति पुंसार पिता विष्णु भक्ति चेत नवलक्षणा क्रियते भगवती अद्दा तन्मन्ने अधिकोत्तमम है, यह नवविधा भक्ति के साक्षात लक्षण, इसलिए कह रहे हैं देखो जी भक्ति की 9 विधियां है,
So there's 9 limbs of bhakti.
किंतु जो मनुष्य
That human being
भगवान श्री विष्णु को समर्पण करके
who surrenders himself to Bhagavan Vishnu
साक्षात अनुष्ठान करता है,
directly can follow,
विचार से उसी
perform bhakti. And that person, yeah, he's really attained the highest knowledge, highest teaching.
भगवान की सेवा के लिए क्या करना, पहले अपने को
So to serve Lord, first you must surrender yourself.
भगवान तुम्हारे सेवा को ग्रहण कर,
And then Bhagavan will accept your service.
आज है।
Sorry, understand?
में गुरु के जन्म अपने को समर्पित
So
नहीं किया,
if you haven't surrendered to the feet of Guru,
सेवा नहीं,
and that service is not a service,
कहीं वो सेवा सामान्य रूप से
sometimes that service,
आभास मात्र होते हैं,
maybe it's like some semblance of a real service, and in this way you collect Sukriti. Only that.
सुकृति बन जाता है,
You create Sukriti,
नहीं होता भक्ति
but not Bhakti. Bhakti is very far. When Bhakti will come? When the Sukriti will be mature and accumulated, then you get Sadhu Sangha. By Sadhu Sangha,
विचार के
then you will have faith in the Shastras.
गुरु बाप को चित्त दे कोई आए, विश्वास हो जाता है,
You'll have so much faith in the Shastras and instructions of Guru. Now you don't have this faith. Why? Because you're not surrendered. You're listening, but you're not surrendered. You're listening from one ear and it's going out from another ear.
आचरण में जब नहीं हो रहा तब
If you're not really follow all that, you cannot try to understand that.
श्रवण श्रवण नहीं है,
That's Shravana is not the proper Shravana if you haven't surrendered yourself.
हमें भगवान
That's why in the Gita Bhagavan told about Aropa Siddha Bhakti,
कुर्सी जदरुचि जदासी जद तपस्या
imposing Bhakti.
मत अर्पण, जो कुछ भी करो
Whatever you do,
सब के उसके फल मुझे ही तुम दे दो,
give me the fruit of everything you're doing.
ऐसे नहीं,
Understand? So you must cook.
तो रसोई बना करके
So after cooking,
अर्पित कर दो,
God says, offer to me.
ग्रहण कर लो,
I'll accept.
तुम ग्रहण करो,
Then you can eat it. You can also accept it, my prashadam.
जत करोसी जदरुचि जदासी जत जत तपस्या करो जो तत्पुरुषम अर्पणम, सब कुछ करके मुझे ही अर्पण कर दो,
Offer everything to me.
इसलिए तुम्हारी कोई टेंशन नहीं रहेगा,
There will be no tension.
जो मुझे अर्पित नहीं करके
But if you don't offer something to me and you do or eat something yourself, you have to suffer the fruit of it.
हम लोग करते हैं, अंत में क्या
So when you do fire sacrifice also, in the end, we say this like yesterday or the day before we did fire sacrifice, like whatever we did, in the end we say, oh Vishnu, we offer everything to you, whatever we've done, and also we ask for forgiveness.
है, ये विष्णु आपके निमित्त
Oh Vishnu, we did the fire sacrifice for you,
आपके तोषण प्रीति के लिए हम जग
for your happiness, for your pleasure. If we, in this fire sacrifice,
त्रुटि है,
I did some mistake or something wrong,
अथवा
knowingly or unknowingly,
मंत्र पाठ करना पड़ता
because we have to,
है, जान से अथवा
so if knowingly or unknowingly, by mistake or
कहीं यदि हमारे त्रुटि
if I did committed any mistake or some offense, hey Bhagavan, please
क्षमा कर दीजिए,
forgive me.
है, विज्ञप्ति होता है उसमें,
So this Vigyapati is like an entity.
ठाकुर जी का शान देते
In the end of Archana also, when you put the deity to sleep, what's the duty of the pujari at that time? He also must pray like this also,
हे प्रभु
asking for forgiveness. Hey Prabhu,
काल से लेकर
Since early in the morning until now, nighttime, I have been serving you. So if I committed knowingly or unknowingly any kind of, if I've committed any kind of offense or any mistake or anything, please, you forgive me. Then Bhagavan becomes pleased. So this is the benefit of Vigraha Seva, serving the deity. What? After doing the offering prayers, God becomes pleased with you. So in the Gita, Bhagavan also told, whatever you do, offer to me. Then you'll be free from the sins and responsibilities of that. Because if you do anything, even bhakti, you have some mistakes, some shortcoming, something that comes in wrong order or something. But Niraganuga Bhakti, even the sequence is not proper, there's no fault. Gita explains also. This verse explains Bhagavad Gita. Gurudev used to say, what is the Gita explaining about Raganuga Bhakti? People say that there is not even this kind of Bhakti in Gita, only Vaidhi Bhakti. There's no Bhakti in the Gita, they are saying. But Gurudev used to say, this shloka, Neha Bikramana Swasti Pratavana Vidati. Because God is telling to Arjun, hey Arjun, those who serve me, even if they're serving me, but some sequence is like wrong, like not proper sequence, there's no problem. Pratyavai, like it's not a problem, not a mistake. Dosh, like not a fault. Not a fault. It won't be considered a fault. So the speciality in the Bhakti Raj. Because in Vidhi Bhakti, this is Raganuga Bhakti. Because Vidhi Bhakti, the sequence is important. First you have to offer the asan, a seat, then achaman, then padda, arga, madhupraka. I mean, you know, in the archan you have to offer many things, no? In sequence. But in Raganuga Bhakti, even if you offer in opposite or not proper sequence, there's no fault. Even if swalpam means even little bit, even if a little bit you do some practice of bhakti, this will, God will accept what you've done, what you've understand. This is the speciality of Raganuga Bhakti. In Vidhi Marga, you have to follow everything with the rules. One thing, then after the another thing, then after the other, like this. But in Raga Marga, even if little bit, if you're the sequence in the formalities or whatever you're doing, it's wrong. God doesn't see that as a fault. Continuing.
श्रवण में महाराज परीक्षित, कीर्तन में सुखदेव गोस्वामी, स्मरण में प्रहलाद, पाद सेवन में लक्ष्मी देवी,
Pada Sevana Lakshmi Devi, Archana Maharaj Pritu, Vandana Akrur, Dasa Hanuman, Sakha Arjun, Atmani Vedan, Bali Maharaj. So by the Nava Vidha Bhakti, 9 limbs of Bhakti, following these 9 limbs, which devotee attain to Lord? So this example is given. Which, like you can do only one limb of Bhakti. Maybe like different devotees, they did only one limb of Bhakti and they attained to Lord with only one limb of Bhakti. But they did to do Nishta. Like, actually they did all the limbs, but they had one main. Like you have to follow all the limbs of Bhakti, but one of the limbs, like Shravana Kirtan, one limb you have, like Shravana Kirtan, should be like keep as primary. But if you follow one anga with nishta, steadiness, loyalty, then Bhagavan will be pleased, then you get the prem. But we see some devotees that example is given.
पूर्ण रूप से पालन
They
करते
follow completely 9 limbs of bhakti. Like, for example,
हैं महाराज
Ambarish Maharaj,
है ना? पूरा अंग को पालन करते हैं
he used to follow all the limbs of bhakti.
अम्बरीश महाराज
Ambarish Maharaj,
विद्या भक्ति के पूर्ण अंग को
he followed completely 9 limbs of bhakti.
ठीक है एक अंग साधे बहु अंग निष्ठा विधि उपजाय प्रेमेर तरंग निष्ठा होनी चाहिए नाम करें
So should have nishta. So okay, chant holy names, but with nishta, with like
निष्ठा करके नाम करना चाहिए आज
steadiness. One day you chanted, second day you didn't chant. One day you chant 16 days, another day 64, another day 3 rounds. No, not like this. Fixed rounds.
और ये भी केवल नाम करेंगे कथा कथा नहीं श्रवण
But also only chant holy names but not listen Harikatha, then you cannot get also like
ये श्रवण कीर्तन
proper results. Like you have to listen to Harikatha as well.
इसमें कीर्तनाक भक्ति
So Shravana Kirtana Smarana, but you have to put Kirtanaka Bhakti as topmost, like the chanting of holy names Kirtan,
भक्ति के क्या करना पड़ता
like glorifying chanting. So Kirtanaka Bhakti should be main,
है भक्ति से
because in Kali Yuga Kirtanaka Bhakti is the topmost.
नहीं है जो और भक्ति
But I'm not saying that you will not follow the other limbs of Bhakti, you won't listen Harikatha, only performing Kirtan. No.
कीर्तनाक भक्ति को
But Kirtanaka Bhakti should be the
प्रिंसिपल मुख्य
principle, the main.
है इसलिए जीव गोस्वामी पाद लिखते हैं
So Jiva Goswami he wrote, in Kali Yuga,
कली युग में कीर्तन नाम संकीर्तन कीर्तन
Kirtan, Nama Sankirtan is the topmost.
केशव संकीर्तन नाम संकीर्तन को रखना पड़ता है हरि नाम करो
Have to chant holy names.
श्रवण करो
Listen Harikatha.
करो कुछ भी करें
Do worship, Archan, whatever you do. But
कीर्तन को क्या करना पड़ता है प्रधान रखना पड़ता
you have to put the Kirtan as the most prominent. And how's the Kirtan? Nama Sankirtan in Sadhu Sangha.
है तार मध्य सर्वश्रेष्ठ नाम संकीर्तन निरुपदे नाम ले पाए कृष्ण पदे प्रेमधन है चैतन्य चरितामृत वर्णन होते यार
Chaitanya Charitamrita explains so beautifully.
ये भगवत नाम संकीर्तन कहते हैं नाम कीर्तन करने से
So if you do Sankirtana, all kinds of the practice of bhakti you're also following immediately, automatically. Because when you do kirtan, also you're listening, you're also doing shravan.
कहोगे कि नहीं आप बोल रहे
Isn't it? Like if you speak also about Krishna, you're listening yourself. If others are listening or not,
हो श्रवण हो गया
I'm not, no, but you are listening.
जो बोल रहे हो
So kirtan also, if you're telling,
स्मरण फिर दूसरी आप
then your tongue is moving, you're speaking and chanting.
कीर्तनाक भक्ति के
And smarana also, you'll remember to God. So if you do kirtanaka bhakti to glorify Lord's pastimes and His names, then you automatically follow 3 limbs of bhakti. Shravan also, kirtan of course, and smarana also.
कीर्तन इसलिए कहता है कीर्तनाक भक्ति
So kirtanaka bhakti.
चैतन्य महाप्रभु जगदीव कैसे
So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he
और वो भी
told a lot about this.
कीर्तन
And also chant loudly.
है कुछ संप्रदाय के लोग का
Some people of some sampradayas, they say that,
स्मरण करेंगे
we'll only remember, not chant loudly.
इसलिए लिखते हैं
Or they just, some people, they write like Sitaram, Sitaram, they just write.
स्मरण होता है
Like this, you're remembering. Because if you read, you're remembering, like because you're thinking about with your mind, then you can write something. So they say only should remember the holy names.
हमारे जीव गोस्वामी पाद गोस्वामी
But our Jiva Goswami and the Goswamis, they say no.
लिखने का मना नहीं करे करो
Not prohibiting to write the holy names, of course. You can write if you want. But you have to also chant loudly, like in loud voice.
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कीर्तनाक करो
Kirtanaka Bhakti.
है श्रेष्ठ माना गया
It's highest.
अच्छा समय हो गया ना
Time is up, right?
की व्यवस्था करो
Arrange for the arati.
निसम्मयित सुब्रत सूत वचो हिरण्यकोशि हिरण्यकोशि पुस्तदा गुरुपुत्रात् मुखावेचेत रूषा प्रस्फुलित धारः बालक प्रहलाद के मुख से
After hearing these words of devotional service from the mouth of his son Prahlad, Hiranyakasipu was extremely angry. His lips trembling, he spoke as follows to Shanda, the son of his guru Shukracharya.
जब प्रहलाद महाराज
So, when Prahlada Maharaj
इति
again spoke about Vishnu,
पिता विष्णु विष्णु नाम आ गया
So Vishnu, name is in the shloka again.
भगवती सीता तन्मय बस भगवत विष्णु की पूजा करो
He told to worship Vishnu and everything.
ये सुनते ही
Listening to
विष्णु
this,
अर्पण करो ये नाम सुनते ही हिरण्यकशिपु बस आंख
Hiranyakasipu,
बंद हो गए
he was angry.
क्रोधित हो गए become
He
very
became
angry
very angry.
हिरण्यकशिपु होठ फड़कने लगे और उसने तत्काल
He
अपने
was
पुत्र के
even
बुलाया
trembling, and
दो
he immediately called Chandamarka, the son of his Guru Shukracharya, and he asked what?
किम एतत्ते विपक्ष सयादसता असारं ग्राहीनो बालो मामना दृश्य दुर्मते हे अधा ब्राह्मण
Oh, unqualified, most heinous,
हिरण्यकशिपु का
heinous son of a Brahmana,
किसको संडामर्क को कहा है हे
telling to Chandamarka,
अधम
oh, you've
ब्राह्मण
fallen,
ब्रह्म बंधु
son of a Brahmana, Brahma Bandhu,
अधम ब्राह्मण
means a falling Brahmana, falling Brahmana,
ब्राह्मण ब्रुव जिसको कहा जाता है
also called Brahma
ब्रह्म बंधु
Bruva.
किम एतत्ते
You have
विपक्ष
disobeyed my order and taken shelter of the parts of my enemies.
दुर्मते मेरी अवज्ञा करके तुम भी मेरे शत्रु पक्ष का आश्रय लेकर बालक प्रहलाद
You have taught this poor boy about devotional service. What is this nonsense?
ये कहते हैं अरे विष्णु भक्ति की क्यों शिक्षा दे रहे
Why did you give him teachings about Bhakti?
ब्रह्म बंधु किसको कहा जाता है
What is a Brahma Bandhu? Is a falling Brahmana. Means a Brahmana who
ब्रह्म ब्राह्मण कार्य आदि नहीं करते हैं
does not follow the duties of a Brahmana
अपकर्म आदि करते हैं
and does bad activities
पतित ब्राह्मण कहा
not proper to him. So this is Patit Brahmana, means falling Brahmana.
डिग्रेडेड
Degraded Brahmana.
ब्राह्मण ब्राह्मण कहा जाता है जो ब्राह्मण ब्रह्म माने ब्राह्मण धर्म पालन नहीं करता
So that Brahmana who does not follow Brahmana Dharma, his duties of Brahmana. There are 6 kinds of Brahmana Dharma.
जायजन अध्ययन उद्यापन दान प्रतिग्रह यज्ञ करना नहीं जानते ब्राह्मण क्या है
So a Brahmana does not know how to perform fire sacrifice. So
करने के पश्चात
how is possible? So after
क्या करना चाहिए
obtaining the sacred thread, all of you, all of
आदि के बारे में सब
should
ज्ञान होना चाहिए
know how to perform a fire sacrifice.
इसलिए स्त्रियों की अच्छा है भले समय क्यों बर्बाद करें हम
That's why for the ladies,
जरूरत नहीं है
why they need to waste time. That's why they don't even get fire, sacred thread.
अरे भगवान के लिए रसोई बनाएंगे ना यज्ञ करेंगे
Will you cook for Lord or do fire sacrifice? The Brahmanas will be swaha, swaha, swaha. But after fire sacrifice, need food or not?
स्त्रियों के
Some people say, oh, we don't get the sacred thread because they're women. But my husband got sacred thread. I didn't. Oh.
ब्रह्मसूत्र देने से ब्राह्मण होता है
Because a Brahmana is a Brahmana because of Brahma Sutra, like the sacred thread. But the Brahmanis, how they are Brahmanas if they don't get sacred thread? The wife of a Brahman is also called Brahmani.
ब्राह्मणी कैसे बन गई
How she became a Brahmani?
आप बताओ
You tell me.
है जन्म से ही तो यज्ञ सूत्र नहीं लिया
Because from
अथवा अविवाहित हो
whether you're married or not, they don't have the sacred thread.
अविवाहिता कोई है जैसे
If some,
ब्रह्मचारी
if someone is like a brahmacharini, not married,
क्या उनके ब्राह्मणी माना जाएगा जाएगा कि नहीं
will be able to be called Brahmani or not? You tell me this first.
जाएगा उसके ब्राह्मणी का
Okay, after wedding, the marriage, she's called Brahmani.
पर ये प्रश्न
So
जाता है कि नहीं जाता
this question arises.
लड़की है
One girl, suppose,
ब्राह्मण घर में जन्म लिया
she was born in the house of a Brahmana. She's not called Brahmana,
जो ब्राह्मण के साथ जब विवाह हो जाते हैं
not called Brahmani. Only when she marries some Brahmana, then she's called Brahmani.
और उसके क्या था ब्राह्मण ब्राह्मण कन्या कहा जाता है उसके
Before, she's called Brahmana Kanya, like the daughter of a Brahmana. Before marriage, wedding, or she's called Brahmana Putri, like the daughter of a Brahmana.
क्योंकि जब
But
उपवीत धारण कर लेते हैं तो आप उसके क्या कहें ब्राह्मण कहा जाता है तो
when a man gets the sacred thread, he's called Brahmana.
ब्राह्मणी कैसे बन गई उसके जगुपीत है ही।
But the wife of a Brahmana is called Brahmani and she doesn't have a sacred thread. How possible if she doesn't have a sacred thread?
ब्राह्मणी का है
People ask this question, it's not my question. I just create this question. Isn't it? So one Brahmana, he gets married and his wife is called Brahmani. But how did she become a Brahmani? She doesn't have a sacred thread. She's not a Brahmana and she's called Brahmani. This question arises or not? So, if you ask the question, then you get the answer. Used to say, to ask questions is not something easy. Actually, those who know the answer, then they can make the question. You see, in the school, the teacher, who makes the exams, the tests that the students take? Who creates the questions? The teacher, not the students. And the teacher knows the answer to all those questions he is asking in the exams. Maybe the students know or not the answers, but the teacher, he knows all the answers. So that's why he gives the exam, he makes the exams, and he gives to the students for them. And the students will give answer, yes. But who is asking the questions? The teacher. So my Gurudev used to tell all this. Before asking the question, you must know the answer. You have to know the answer of your question. Those who know the answer to the question, then they can make the question. Sanatana Goswami didn't know that he was Lavanga Manjari. So he knew, and that's why he's asking to teach the people. He's asking, who am I? Like this. So in the material conception is different, but in spiritual conception is like this. Krishna is Bhagavan, and Mother Yashoda, she's saying, sorry, Krishna is telling to Mother Yashoda, Mother, what is that? Looks like a rishi with long beard. What is this tree? Krishna knows, but he's asking to his mother, what is that tree that looks like long beards? And she's saying, oh, my son, this is like a banyan tree. Because the banyan tree has so many roots, looks like some beards. So God, he's the creator, he knows everything. He knows the answers to all the questions. Anyway, so you ask the question, then so some people write so many stupid things in the Facebook. Sometimes I leave some questions in the Facebook and I want to see the answers that devotees give, people give. Sometimes I ask some questions in Facebook. Have to speak according to the logic of the Shastra, not stupid nonsense. I know so many stupid nonsense people. They speak stupid nonsense, but they are already stupid nonsense. But you have to show the logic of the scriptures when you give some answer. So to give answer to a question is even more difficult because you can ask anything, but when you answer, you must prove with the scriptures. You have to prove according to the scriptures. Mahaprabhu told to Raya Ramananda. Raya Ramananda, I'm making the questions. How to give the answers? You just thought anything, wrote in Facebook to do this, that. You have to give the evidence. Otherwise, who will accept your words? You have to show the evidence of the scriptures. So I ask some questions, so you have to answer with evidence from scriptures. That's why Mahaprabhu told to Raya Ramananda. You have to give all the answers according to the Puranas. So Mahaprabhu told. So what is the evidence of this? Raya Ramananda told us. What answer did he give?
महाप्रभु प्रश्न कर रहे हैं, राम उत्तर दे
Mahaprabhu is asking, and Raman is answering, and he's also quoting from the Puranas.
रहे हैं, प्रश्न करते तो प्रश्न छोड़ दिया।
So the person who is asking questions doesn't quote anything, just as like throws the question. But Ramananda is giving all the answers with the evidence of the scriptures
ऐसे नहीं अपने
quoted.
मन में कह दो,
Not like whatever you think and then you just
तो
speak.
बिना एविडेंस सहज नहीं होता।
To give answer is not so easy. In Facebook, okay.
व्यक्ति भी लिख देते हैं, देखा है, मैं जानता हूँ ये सब लिखता है।
I know that people just write anything like this.
कभी कभी दो एक प्रश्न
Sometimes I drop some questions in my Facebook.
उसमें कोई यदि अच्छी लोग
If some good person knows, because some also many knowledgeable persons are there,
प्रमाण दे
maybe they give some evidence of the Puranas, then I'll be happy to see these answers.
तो लिख देते हैं।
But some people they write anything and I don't like.
अंडे संडे व्यक्ति तो लिख देता है जिसके कोई ज्ञान ही नहीं है।
Some person who has no knowledge or anything, they might write anything.
पुराण वचन दे करके कहेंगे,
Those who have knowledge, then they will call the Puranas and give answer.
वचन दे करके बोलो,
Have to speak according to the Puranas. Show some logic of the scriptures. Put some shloka of the Goswamis.
कौन मान लेगा?
Otherwise, who will believe what are you saying?
जाओ, लॉयर प्रमाण देंगे।
So if you go to the court, the lawyer must give some evidence. Oh, sir, like to the judge. In this constitution, in this law, this number is saying this,
हाँ?
isn't it?
राष्ट्रपति शासन जहाँ तक थोड़ी हो जाता है, उसके प्रमाण
You have to show the evidence of it.
फिर दूसरी धारा में वो कहा, तीसरी धारा में
Oh, this is saying this and that is saying that, another saying that.
उसके मानेगा।
Like, the lawyer must present many arguments according to this law. Then the judge will take that into consideration.
राष्ट्रपति शासन घोषणा करने के
So, like the president, like when the president gives some new announcements, like some law or something, that should be also according to the laws of the constitution.
ये होने पर कर सकते हैं, फिर उसी धारा में दूसरी धारा में कर रहा है, इसे नहीं कर सकता है, इस ये समस्त विधान
When a new law, when the president announce anything, should be also like the parliament. So many things you have to be approved and according to many,
है। हम लोग के
to all the laws to.
कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पढ़ना पड़ता था,
So in my time, in my economics, I had to study 5 constitutions.
इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन,
In the constitution, we have to read and study the Indian constitution, the British constitution also, and the
सोवियत कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन,
Soviet constitution also we had to study. And now I forgot how many years before was that? 40 years ago.
ऐसे थोड़ी हो जाता है,
So
सबको याद रखना पड़ता
you
है
have to remember all that.
कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन क्या बोल रहा
What is the Indian constitution saying?
है कि नहीं? जो यहाँ पर लॉ कॉलेज में
Those who study law, they have to know all this when they go to the court and everything. If you speak just something here and there, it's not taken into consideration. When you have to debate with the judge
उसको ये धारा
and show your logic to him, you have to quote all these laws and all these things, this. Then quotes now like this from the laws.
एक प्रश्न को
Otherwise, the judge will not take into consideration.
बताओ,
So I ask some questions. So if someone knows, they should write answer, quote in the Shastra.
यस और नो
Yes or no.
युक्ति दिखाना पड़ता
So even yes or no, you have to explain this logic.
है, आज समझ में
Understand?
तक मैंने जय कृष्ण शास्त्र कोट किया, कोट नहीं
So nobody has quoted the Shastra until now. Quote the Shastra.
नहीं जानते,
If you know, but if you don't know, no problem.
हाँ? तो इसलिए तो कर रहा है रमन के संवाद में
So in the Raman Samvad,
स्वयं भी कहा,
Mahaprabhu himself told,
मैं तुमको जो प्रश्न कर रहा हूँ
Hey Ramananda, I'm asking questions and you should give answers.
प्रमाण दिवे पुराण वचन, प्रमाण देना है कि पुराण वचन से दो,
You have to quote the Puranas when you give answer.
बिना ऐसे तो लिख देते हैं, अपने मन में कुछ लिख दो,
Otherwise, some person might write something which is in his mind, anything. Anyway, I changed the subject.
इसे जो मैंने प्रश्न ये छोड़
So I dropped some questions.
ऐसे जो आप लोग बोलो, हैं?
You can tell me.
ब्राह्मणी कैसे बन गई?
How can the wife of a Brahmana become a Brahmani?
ब्राह्मण के पुत्र ब्राह्मण हो जाता
So the son of
नहीं रहे, इसे ब्राह्मण कैसे करे?
the daughter of a Brahmana
पुत्री को शादी कर लिया,
is called son of a Brahmana. But when she marries to a Brahmana, she's Brahmani. Like a Brahmana marries a Muslim lady, that lady will also be called Brahmani.
यदि गुण नहीं हो,
If she doesn't have qualities, how can she be called Brahmani?
उनके गुण रहने पर ब्राह्मणी का
If
पालन कर रहे हो,
if the person has the qualities of a Brahmana, okay, he's a Brahmana, the man. But if the woman, his wife, how can she be called a Brahmani if she doesn't have the qualities of a Brahmana? So give some evidence from scriptures, isn't it?
हैं? आप विचार करिए, करके बताओ।
Think about it and tell me.
चलो आगे करो सुना।
Okay, continuing.
हाँ हाँ अभी आरती करो चलो।
Yes, we'll do it now.
इसलिए इसे कहते हैं बालक प्रहलाद ने अपने बालक नहीं नहीं संपते तत् सुतवचो हिरण्यकशिपु तथा गुरुपुत्र मुखाचेतं रुषं प्रस्फुटित उदारम। बालक बालक प्रहलाद के मुख से इन बातों के सुनकर क्रोध से हिरण्यकशिपु के होंठ फड़फड़ाने लगे।
After hearing these words of devotional servants from the mouth of his son Prahlada, Hiranyakasipu was extremely angry. His lips trembling, he spoke as follows to the Sanda, the son of his guru, Shukracharya. Oh, fallen Brahmana, you have disobeyed my order and taken shelter of the party of my enemies. You have taught this poor boy about devotional service. What is this nonsense? So Adam Brahmana, Hiranyakashipu called the son of the Guru Adam Brahmana, means fallen Brahmana. You have disobeyed my order and taken shelter of the party of my enemies. You have taught this poor boy about devotional service. What is this nonsense? Okay, later we'll speak more katha. We'll listen more about it later.
कृपा सिंधु पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो।